because they don't love it, they don't love it, they don't love it, they don't love it, they don't love it.
It's week 12 of the National Football League, and the spotlight is on the Cardinals' speedy running back. He was unstoppable a week ago with 4 touchdowns. It's the Cards and the Rams, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, week 12 of the NFL. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Rams set to go to work on offense, and they're led by a man who topped the 50,000-yard mark in passing for his career a season ago. In year 15 now, here's Matthew Stafford.
Stafford, the Rams won it all in Super Bowl 56, but last season was a stark contrast to that. The Rams need their quarterback to recapture his form from 2 seasons ago to help spark another postseason run.
Stafford's throw here hauled in by Cup. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he's going to have a Rams first down as good running gets him to about the 44. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Stafford's pass complete. He's got Cup. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Akers. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. This defense for the Cards very strong in that victory a week ago.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. He had the distance, but it's no good. Line to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Now Murray off play action.
This will be caught downfield by Moore.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
The two big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27.
And we're going to see the ball in the air quite a bit here. This is a top 5 passing offense in the NFL. And they certainly like to get everybody involved. So this defense, they're going to have to be able to counterpunch somehow. They couldn't there, and it's an opening drive, first down.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year.
And the Cardinals are on the board first here this afternoon.
Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Now a first down throw, Stafford.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. You look at this Arizona defense.
And they're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing on third down, Stafford.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff running through the middle. A beautiful fake. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early, and, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On play action, it's Murray. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They fake the handoff, now Murray. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Rondell Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals go up by 2 touchdowns. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this 1st half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Leading this Cardinals offense back onto the field, there's Rondell Moore. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marquise Brown, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 21-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I'll overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. And Higbee going to have a Rams first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Here's Stafford. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home with a sack. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. B.J. Ojulari in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Well, the Cardinal offense going to take over late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Play fake. Murray. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Murray now on 1st down. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
2nd and 6. Back to throw, Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Stafford on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Now with 5 seconds. Time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. The kick by Marr is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided halftime over. No problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48 there.
What a way to start the second half. These guys are showing no signs of letting up. They have a chance to take a decided advantage with this possession.
So here are the Cardinals to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 68 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's a give up the middle. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
Here. 2-1.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I think
and this time he is in. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll go again here with Akers. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with a run in the past, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Michael O.J. Mudia make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And he's gonna miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and they will remain well behind.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Play action. Now it's Murray.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by John Johnson. And the Rams will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. After the interception, here's Stafford. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Kupp pushing his way through. Touchdown, L.A. Cooper Kupp, 52 yards. And the Rams are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And Well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is down to 28-10. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Right back to him on first down. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Zach Ertz, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Cards add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cardinals are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, you think about it, though, that interception, great for his stats, but bad for field position. It was 4th down.
Yeah, terrific observation. If there is going to be a silver lining, and this is what he'll plead when it comes time to watch it again,
Hey, it was just like a punt, right? So we end up taking possession of the ball. But you're exactly right about it. Should have slapped it down. Field position would be better for his offense. But how many times do you get a chance to make an interception that you turn it down? That's when your instinct kicks in and you take the football. In this case, a better decision would have been to knock the ball down.
Throwing on first down is Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visiting Cardinals who came away with the victory. So now they've got a chance here to sweep the season series if they can get the victory in Glendale.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Now Murray. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 25-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. He's been the go-to guy, and they needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Back to throw it. Murray looking middle, and it's incomplete.
But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
2nd and 10.
Now Stafford.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is is how this one will come to an end. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, if you step back and look at this, CD, a pretty impressive victory. Not the best defense in the NFL they were going against, but it is a top 10 defense in this league, and they're pretty sound, but yet they found a way to get it done and get the victory.